The first task when mounting an attack is to find the target. This can be done simply by scanning through the internet to find a computer address which responds and then doing further investigation of that address. Checking each port on an address will quickly reveal what services are open and allow the attacker to start planning their attack. IP address and port scanning are almost always memory steps in attack. Reconnaissance targets can also be identified by using open source intelligence. In other words, just looking for what information is available on the internet. If the target is a company, it's easy to check what hosts' computers have names registered to that company's domain. Having found a target, the next task is to deliver the attack. Let's look at the 5 methods of payload delivery: phishing via email, malicious websites, USB sticks, access to credentials, and software flaws. Email phishing occurs when an email has an attachment which has been infected, and clicking on the attachment installs and executes the malware. This could be an executable program which may have had its name changed to look innocuous. It may even be a picture, a Word document, a spreadsheet, all of which have in the past had vulnerabilities which allowed malware to be installed. A malicious website is one in which an attacker has been able to plant some malicious code. This could be a website created specifically for hosting malware, or it could be a legitimate website which has been compromised by a hacker without the owner's knowledge. Anyone visiting a specific page on that website would then have malware downloaded onto their computer. Email phishing can be combined with malicious websites in the more sophisticated attacks. In this case, the email will include a hyperlink to the compromised website. Increasingly, phishing emails are focused on specific individuals and will use information taken from social media sites to read more like a legitimate email. A phishing email may also be crafted to look like it's come from a legitimate address, even one inside the individual's own organization. Another form of malicious website is one where the site looks like a real website, but is in fact run by the hacker. Banks are often the target for these attacks, and the purpose is to get the user to enter their credentials, which are then used by the hacker to take funds from the real website. A similar attack is known as man in the browser. In this case, the hacker will use one of the above attacks to exploit vulnerabilities in the user's browser software. Then, the next time the user visits their bank, the malware will change the transactions to effect a funds transfer to the hacker's own account. This kind of attack is problematic for banks because it happens after the user has authenticated, so it's difficult to detect. Cybercriminals rarely attack their targets individually. They will often purchase a botnet or purchase time on a rental botnet, and will use cybercrime software such as Zeus to manage their command and control servers, which in turn are used to control a vast number of compromised computers known as zombies all around the world. All the cybercriminal needs to do is compose an attack and then send it through the botnet. This is organized crime at global scale. Around 500,000 botnet connections are seen every day. Attacks don't have to come through a remote connection. USB sticks or flash drives are used by attackers as a vector for malware. A flash drive can be infected when it's inserted into an infected computer, and then will carry this infection to any other computer it's subsequently plugged into. Using secure flash drives, such as the Iron Key, avoids this kind of attack. An up-to-date antivirus software will catch most known malware. Passwords provide the basic form of access control. However, attackers are quite good at finding ways to get passwords. If an attacker can intrude or get malware into a system, he or she can take a copy of the password file. This file will typically only hold codes which have been generated from the passwords. These are known as hash codes, but by using special password cracking software, an attacker can generate and hash tens of millions of passwords and look into the file for a match. This is known as a dictionary attack. It's more difficult for the attacker to obtain a password when it consists of 8 or more characters and is not a dictionary word. Password crackers are very good at adding numbers to the end of passwords. So Secret 42 isn't really that secret. The best way of creating a good password is to use 2 or 3 words with upper and lowercase, such as tubular bells, and replace one character with a number, say tubular B. 3 LLS attackers are familiar with the default credentials that are provided with software, and these should always be changed. While this is a well-known security rule, it's surprising how often these passwords are found when enterprise software is tested. No legitimate service desk should ask for a user's credentials, so if you get a call from the help desk asking for your credentials, you should be very suspicious that this is an adversary rather than your real help desk. The root cause of many attacks is software flaws. Vendors continually discover software flaws and issue patches, and these need to be applied as soon as possible. Having automatic updates enabled for software of all kinds is very good practice. It's quite common for attackers to find software flaws before the vendors do, and until a patch is made available. These vulnerabilities are extremely dangerous. During this period, the software is said to have a zero-day vulnerability. While there is little that can be done to reduce the level of vulnerability when using software with a 0 day, at least until a patch is available, minimizing a system's exposure to the internet helps reduce the risk of the 0 day being exploited. Now we've looked at the bigger picture of cybersecurity.